this video we'll be going over the start of the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript tutorials. So it's web design, so we'll be starting with HTML5. So I've downloaded WebStorm from the JetBrains website. You can get it for free if you're a student or you have been a student in the past. I think you just need a student email. That still works. Otherwise, if you're not a student, you can just use VS Code, I think, or you can use like Atom 1 or actually you should be able to do HTML in other JetBrains IDEs, but this one's just for those 3 languages. You can also do it with other JetBrains software. You could probably just do it in Notepad. So anything that you want. So I like JetBrains, so I'm just going to use that. There seems to be something loading here in the bottom right corner, which was doing the same thing the other day for a long time, so I'm not sure if there's some kind of error. Anyways, we'll just try to do it. So the layout's different in this compared to the other IDEs I noticed. So in the top left corner, I'm going to go File, New. I'm going to click on HTML file. And the title of this is going to be, sorry, let me just have a look at my notes here. Okay, so the title is the title, we'll call this ct_about.html. Let's try that. Let's try to make some room here on my desk. So back to the desk, just because I was having some trouble with sleeping. They said some research showed that if you actually study in your bed, it could affect your sleeping cycle. So I'm trying to just work at the desk now. Seems to be working a bit. So let's start with this here. So we'll just go CT underscore, is that underscore? Just let me do underscore there. Underscore, and then we'll go about dot HTML. I'll hit enter. Right, so we got some starting stuff. I'm just gonna zoom in. Okay, so the zoom is locked right now, so how do I fix that? Okay, I'll have to go to settings. I forgot how to do this. I might have to grab my phone to do this. Okay, so it's, I think it's editor, general, and then here, if you can see that, I'm not sure if you can because using the Windows recorder. Then you'll check the checkbox, change font size with control mouse wheel, plus some other stuff, some shortcut. I'm just gonna just leave it as the default active editor. I'll hit OK. Now I can hold down control and scroll in like that to make it bigger, so you guys can see and I can see too. Okay, so we can just leave it like that. It's actually fine. So then here we'll just start with that. So what we're gonna do, so this is pretty much what we're gonna have. So we could run this file, so it'll run it as a local web page. Can't even see the run button. Is that the run button there? Yeah, it is. It's like, usually it's they have it shaded in. This time it's just the outline. Hopefully this doesn't stop the recording. Okay, so it actually didn't stop the recording. Not sure if you got that, but it's just a blank page that opened up in Chrome. So it seems to be set to Chrome. We can probably change that, because remember, web pages run in a browser. So let's just delete all this and start from scratch. Okay, so we have, so first we'll start with, let's just see here. Okay, so let's start with, we'll start with the document type declaration, which identifies the markup language as HTML. So that will be, so we go with left or just angular bracket, open angular bracket, exclamation, doc type. So doc type can be capital or lowercase. I believe HTML is non-case sensitive. So here we'll have HTML. So exclamation doc type space HTML, and then we'll close the angular bracket. So what is that? That is a document type declaration. It identifies the markup language as HTML, and that's all you have to know. Then underneath we'll have an HTML tag, because there's a few languages like this, such as XML, extensible markup language. There's XHTML, which is the syntax is closer to XML, and HTML has a little bit of a different syntax. Okay, so now we will go with HTML. So we'll have an HTML open block, so it's automatically doing the closing block. I wanted to kind of do the closing block too, so we'll just go with open angular bracket, then it's just your normal slash. Okay, it's not letting me write them. Whoops. The IDE is automatically writing it. Okay, so I guess we'll just go with that for now until I can change those. We'll have to do it that way. So WebStorm is it's trying to close the tags itself. Okay, so we have an HTML tag closed, and then inside we'll have a head and a body. So here we'll have a head tag, and then that's just going to be together like that. Underneath we'll have a body. So what actually gets written on the HTML web page is the body. Okay, so now let's just talk about this. So opening HTML tag marks the start of the document. Closing HTML tag marks the end of the document. Excuse me. So then we have the head element will contain information about the document. So we'll get into that later on. So we're just starting with this, we'll get into that after. So body element will contain the content displayed by the browser. And then we can just save the file. Hopefully Control S just works. If it didn't, I'll just go up here and hit. That should be fine. I think Control S should work. Why is this thing still loading? What does it say? It says, I'll just leave that for now anyways. Is it loading is it downloading something really big perhaps? Last time I had it running for a long time, it just was still running. So let's just leave that for now. I don't think it did that on my laptop. Not sure it's, unless I messed up the settings. I don't think I did. They're two different computers, so it's possible that it just doesn't like one thing and likes the other one. Not sure why. Or maybe there's just a setting that got glitched out. I'll have to try to do check on that after. For now, it seems to be working. So now we'll set the page title. So how do we do that? Okay, so do we have any titles on this? No. Okay. So this is, I believe this will be in the document head. So we'll create the document head. So the document head contains metadata. Metadata like the company Meta, which was formerly Facebook, then they changed their name to Meta. You probably have seen that. If you haven't, now you know. So metadata is, so the document head contains metadata, which is content that describes the document or provides information about how the document should be processed by the browser. So there's different elements found in the document head. And just to get the terms, the correct terms here. One sec. Okay. We have, I believe these are tags. I just want to make sure that this is the correct term so I don't steer you guys in the wrong direction. So we will be supporting the mobile web. So we'll have some mobile stuff in this series. I do owe you guys some Android videos, which we already done some mobile stuff. I just haven't uploaded it. There's only 5 videos, but they're quite long. They're like apps, but they're not too bad. I could probably do it in a couple hours, so I'll try to do them sometime soon. But in HTML, we will be putting our web apps on a phone, like you can run it from a phone's browser. So we'll be doing that later on. Okay, so what else do we have here? Okay, so these are the tags. So these, I believe these are just tags. That should be correct. What is this? Okay, something else popped up. Okay, so these are just tags. I think that's what I said earlier on. Did I say closing tag? Opening tag? Yeah, that's correct. That's the correct definition. What else do I have to tell you guys here? Okay, and then within the tags we have elements. So within these tags, we'll have elements. So like for example, in this head tag we'll have an element here in a sec. So element tags, they can get confusing. There's a bunch of them. For example, there's like a paragraph tag. There's like an EM tag, which can make things italicized. Paragraph just puts them in paragraph format, so we'll get into all that. There's also attributes, so we'll get into all this stuff. Element attributes, okay. So for the next step that we have here, we will set the page title. So we will have our, what will we say? So we can say, within our head tag here, we'll say that we want a title. And we'll say that we want just like this title. It's going to automatically create the closing title. Then here we'll have, it's not in a string, this is just going to be a title. So here we'll just have, without quotations, we'll just say that we want. We can just say that it's a restaurant. Spell that right. Website. Just like that. Then we can save it. Don't want the video to stop, and I don't want something to happen to the video. But let's just run. I'm just going to run this and just see what comes up in the title bar. So I'm just going to click the run button in the top right hand corner there. So it did work. The tab says restaurant website. That seems to be working there. Okay, so that's how you add a title. What else we'll do here? We will add metadata. Okay, so this one starts to get a little confusing. So there's attributes of the meta element. Okay, so we have let's go with head. Okay, no. Actually, that could be correct. We put the title in. The head tag. We're also going to add something else in the head tag, or within the head block, whatever. Within the head tag. We'll say that we want to add some keywords here. So let's just go with let's try this. Let's go above title first. So we'll just say we want just to open up a tag here. Then we want meta char set points to. Actually, they're supposed to be together like this. The string UTF-8, which is a character set on the web. Did I say that? Did I write that correctly? Okay. Don't get it confused with the time zones, which is similar to that. Like UTC, I think. Then we'll just close it like this. Whoops. It's not throwing any errors here. Or whoops, actually that was wrong. Sorry. Okay, so it did automatically once I hit the slash, and then underneath we'll say that we want some other stuff here. So we can. So these are excuse me. These are keywords. Excuse me. Sorry, my throat's getting clammy here. So we have, for example, we'll call meta name. I don't think the color scheme is very good here. Anyways, we'll just go with that, or the theme here. So we'll just go with points to the string keywords. So we're calling it keywords, I believe. Then here we'll say content points to. So what is this? So this is when you're doing a search on like the internet, on a browser or whatever, on like a search engine. And for example, if someone like searches like restaurant in, for example, like Steveston or like Richmond or whatever, Vancouver, wherever you're from, California or something, no idea where you're from, maybe Seattle or I don't know, somewhere overseas, it will link the website to the search. So this is what that's for. So for example, we could just say that we want content points to, and then we'll just list some strings here. We can say this just like that. We can just say that it's restaurant. It's a restaurant. For example, alright, so let's just close that there. And that should be it. I think you could actually just put this on the next line as well, like that. If you want to just separate them. Okay, so we have that. I'll just save it and run it again. So it's not actually running yet, but it's working. So for example, that should be okay. I think the last thing for just this tutorial is that we'll just add a comment. Whoops, drop